Hello my friend, and welcome on this second video on the tree designer tool that I'm currently working on. As you can see here, we have quite a lot of changes compared to the first demo video that I made, because we basically have a complete structure now for the branches of the tree. So we have all the levels of stems that are generated procedurally. And I also added a lot of additional settings here on the GUI, so we can control a good part of the parameters that were suggested in the initial paper. First, maybe I could give you a quick demonstration. So we can, for instance, change the seed which is used to generate the tree. So that's going to generate a complete different tree, still using the same settings, but yeah, the random variables will be changed. So you can iterate on this seed number, and that's going to produce similar trees, but not the same one at the same time. Okay, and well, if you get closer, you can actually see what is the structure that we use for all those levels. So we have a collection of segments, as I call them, but each segment is then turned into a cylinder. I mean, kind of cylinder, cone cylinder, because you can have different radius at the top and the bottom of the cylinder, and that's how you construct all of those branches. Right now it's a bit of a mess, I guess, so we can try to reduce that a little bit. We have control, for instance, here on the number of levels that we want to generate, knowing that if we start at only one level, it means we just want to generate the trunk. And we're back to my initial video. Yeah, yippee! And then you can add one more level. So that's going to generate the branches going directly from the trunk. And if you add another one, you get branches going from this level 1. So that's level 0, level 1, level 2, and we can go up to, yeah, 4 levels, so that's adding level 3 on top of the level 2 branches. Alright, so as I said, that's a bit too much right now, so let's reduce that. What else can we control? The base size is what is mentioned in the paper, and actually I realized that in the first recording I just mentioned that, yep, I was using this paper, and I've shown this diagram where you have a basic diagram for the tree, but I didn't even tell what was the paper itself. So it's this one, creation and rendering of realistic trees by Weber and Penn. And what was I saying before that? Yes, the base size. The base size is something that is coming from what is described here. Basically, it's a part of the trunk where you don't want to have any branches going, so usually you have a good size of the length of the full trunk where you don't have any branches at the base. One thing which is different through is in the paper they only suggest to have base size for the trunk, but I have in fact generalized that to have a base size for all the levels. But currently I think, yeah, it's not really used yet for the sublevels. If you change this value, for instance, you will see that the branches will start higher if I increase this number, or it could start at the very bottom of the tree if you reduce that. And what else? Number of branches. Oh yeah, that's how you can increase a bit the number of branches that you want to generate on each stem. I have also reduced this, reduce the radius power, because the default value is 1.2, I believe, and okay, the radius here should be 0.15, and it doesn't, that doesn't seem to be very good from my perspective. Let's put that to the default value, which is 0.4, I think. So that's giving us a large trunk and the branches are not so big. So if you reduce this, you're actually increasing the radius for the sub branches, as you can see that probably. Of course, you don't want to make this value too small, otherwise it doesn't look good anymore, but yeah, something like that maybe. What else should I mention? Curvature part. Yep, I added a lot of settings in there. I guess the most important one are the down angle and the curve angle, also the rotation maybe. And the down angle is what we use to figure out what should be the first angle here, which is used to position the sub stem correctly. And so for the level 1 branches, the value is 60 degrees. So if you reduce that, the branches would normally go closer to the trunk. You can try it like that. And if you increase it, of course, you can get branches that are completely different. So that's great, because I already feel that this could be an appropriate distribution for a Christmas tree or something like that. So yeah, I think those settings can be used to produce pretty realistic trees at the end. And okay, so you have control on the down angle, the variation for the down angle, the curve. I think we mentioned the curve value already in the first video. So now we have that applied for level 1, level 2 also, and even level 3. And we're not displaying level 3 right now, right? Yes, because we only have... Oh my, that's a lot of mess. And you can control the number of branches that you want for each level. What else? The length also, which is the ratio compared to the parent length. So you can make, for instance, those branches here longer. Whoa. And why is this changing the shape? Okay, it's randomizing because I don't know, but it's randomizing. So, yep, quite funny. And rotation is rotation along the axis of the curve itself when you're creating sub branches. So if you reduce that, let's put 0. 0 would give you all the branches on the one side like that, perfectly aligned. Yoo-hoo! And then you could put 180. I would give you branches that go one side and then the other side of the tree. So again, perfectly aligned in this direction. But of course, most of the time you don't want to use values at that, so it's better to use something like 140, which is a default value, I think. Okay, and yeah, I guess this is it. I also added this auto update seed because right now, for instance, if I'm changing a variable that is not really changing the construction process for the branches, then the seed will be kept the same, which is actually something very cool, and you want to keep it the same most of the time. For instance, if you change the down angle here, you're not really producing a new tree, you're just using the existing branches and modifying what you already have. But if you activate that, now it's going to produce a different tree every time you make any change. And yep, this is it for the current implementation. And yeah, the next step. Currently, I have only added the support to generate those sub stems, so child branches if you want. But the paper also described a mechanism which is a stem split, which means that you should in theory, be able to split a curve in multiple subcurves and that while staying at the same level of the initial curve. So this is not implemented and I need to provide support for that. Also, there's something going on here with the taper value. I have not really paid too much attention to that yet, so I need to have a look at this. And the pruning also, normally you should use the pruning settings to discard some branches, but this is not really implemented for the moment, so I need to have a look at this part. And yeah, when I will be done with that, I still have to deal with the leaves. That could be another big part, in fact. And also the wind sway. That's something that I think could be very cool to have the small branches and the leaves moving with the wind. Oh, and this thing containing the vertical attraction. I think this is what we call the tropism, I think. And you want to be able to transform the shape of your tree with some attraction in a given direction to mimic, for instance, either gravity or wind direction. Alright, so this is it for the moment. I'm not really mentioning anything concerning the code itself because I think I'm going to make another final, more regular devlog where I will go through some of the most important code sections. So for the moment, yeah, not really the concern for those quick demo recordings. But anyway, we'll get to this point eventually. So as usual, if you have anything to say about it, leave a comment on this video, and otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye bye!